Guys, your boy Coach Anthony, and of course, none other. What's going on, guys? Your boy Coach Anthony, and of course, none other than world-class professional fighter, Fast Eddie Chambers. Black Friday, everybody's favorite time of the year. But why are we gonna wait? We ain't waiting until Black Friday. I want to give you guys the biggest opportunity that I have ever given to grab all 16 of my masterclass courses for over 90% off. I've sold these courses previously for $300 a pop, and now you can grab all 16 for less than the price of one. I want you guys to head over to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, and if you want to grab one course at a time, you can also grab those courses for only $47. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this sale is not going to last. So what I'm going to need you to do is go to the website and grab it now, because as soon as I raise the prices, not only am I going to raise the prices, I'm going to charge more than I've ever charged, because the value inside of these courses are second to none. Oh, and how can I forget? Every single person who grabs the Master Boxing Bundle is going to get enrolled to the CA Boxing University, which is a private community where you can upload your sparring, ask questions 24/7, show your heavy bag work, basically share your journey with a bunch of like-minded people. This is a no-brainer, guys. So you guys already know what to do. CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Box nuts. What's going on, guys? Your boy Coach Anthony, and of course, none other than world-class professional fighter, Fast Eddie Chambers. Black Friday, everybody's favorite time of the year. But why are we gonna wait? We ain't waiting until Black Friday. I want to give you guys the biggest opportunity that I have ever given to grab all 16 of my masterclass courses for over 90% off. I've sold these courses previously for $300 a pop, and now you can grab all 16 for less than the price of one. I want you guys to head over to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, and if you want to grab one course at a time, you can also grab those courses for only $47. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this sale is not going to last. So what I'm going to need you to do is go to the website and grab it now, because as soon as I raise the prices, not only am I going to raise the prices, I'm going to charge more than I've ever charged, because the value inside of these courses are second to none. Oh, and how can I forget? Every single person who grabs the Master Boxing Bundle is going to get enrolled to the CA Boxing University, which is a private community where you can upload your sparring, ask questions 24/7, show your heavy bag work, basically share your journey with a bunch of like-minded people. This is a no-brainer, guys. So you guys already know what to do. CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Box nuts. What's going on, guys? Your boy Coach Anthony, and of course, none other than world-class professional fighter, Fast Eddie Chambers. Black Friday, everybody's favorite time of the year. But why are we gonna wait? We ain't waiting until Black Friday. I want to give you guys the biggest opportunity that I have ever given to grab all 16 of my masterclass courses for over 90% off. I've sold these courses previously for $300 a pop, and now you can grab all 16 for less than the price of one. I want you guys to head over to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, and if you want to grab one course at a time, you can also grab those courses for only $47. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this sale is not going to last. So what I'm going to need you to do is go to the website and grab it now, because as soon as I raise the prices, not only am I going to raise the prices, I'm going to charge more than I've ever charged, because the value inside of these courses are second to none. Oh, and how can I forget? Every single person who grabs the Master Boxing Bundle is going to get enrolled to the CA Boxing University, which is a private community where you can upload your sparring, ask questions 24/7, show your heavy bag work, basically share your journey with a bunch of like-minded people. This is a no-brainer, guys. So you guys already know what to do. CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Box nuts.
Hey, what up? What up? What up? What's going on? What's going on? What is going on, guys? As you've seen by the commercial being played 3 times in a row, it is Black Friday. I'm sorry, man. As soon as I went live, a bunch of people emailing me, asking me about the courses and stuff. Give me 1 second here. Man, this is what happens when you're a one-man show sometimes. You know what I mean? Give me 1 second. Okay, so we are here, man. What's going on, man? I want to do a Q&A. I want to talk boxing. I got Fast Eddie Chambers coming. We're going to talk about reasons that you should choose boxing. We're going to talk about reasons why you should choose my courses, reasons why I'm a boxing coach, and why I love boxing so much. My goal is to stay on this live stream today for as long as I possibly can. I've never done a live stream. Actually, I've done 3-hour live streams in the past when people actually came on, talked to me and stuff like that. I wonder if I could do something like that today. I decided to get on here a little bit earlier than I usually do. Most of the time I'm on here around 9, 10 o'clock, sometimes even as late as 11 o'clock. It is literally like 6 o'clock right now, 6:15, 6:17 actually. Not used to going live this early, man. So we're gonna take it slow. We're gonna pick it up as it goes. I want to say thank you to everybody who's in here. We got my boy Damon in here. Hi, greetings and blessings. What's going on, man? How's everything with you, man? Another Facebook user. What up, coach? I don't know who this is, Facebook user, but hello to you too, man. I don't know why it does that, why it says Facebook user. But yeah, man, we're gonna just hang out, man. We're gonna hang out. I'm gonna stay on this live stream as long as possible. You guys can ask me questions. I'm going to get into 20 reasons why you guys should choose boxing if you haven't already in a minute. I'm not going to get into that just yet, but you know what I mean? We're going to just chop it up, man. We're going to pick it up slow, man. We got Richard in the building. Hi, coach. How you doing, man? How's everybody doing? We got a big fight tomorrow. David Benavidez versus Boo Boo Andrade. That's going to be a hell of a fight. If you have not seen the prediction and our analysis that Eddie Chambers and I did the other day, it is my most recent YouTube video. You guys should definitely check that out before the fight tomorrow. But man, that's going to be a hell of a fight. A lot of people super excited for that fight, including me, man. Okay, Ajani, that's what's up, brother. What's going on, man? How's the coaching going with you, Ajani? Talk to me, man. You should get on here, man. You should come talk to me, man, tonight, man, at some point. I got Eddie probably pulling up in here in a few minutes, though, so we got to let Eddie get his shine first. Michael, what's going on, champ? How are you? Jimmy, coach, we need an official prediction. I know, man. I know. I haven't made an official prediction because it's that difficult of a fight for me to make an official prediction on. I got to be honest. It's really that difficult of a fight, man. I'm really just not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, my brain tells me David Benavidez only because of activity, recent showings, recent outings by him. But then my boxing intellect, which is also my brain, so I should say like the left side of my brain, but then the right side of my brain says Boo Boo Andrade, southpaw, good boxer, good lateral movement, doesn't stay in front of his target for too long, strong as well. You know what I mean? Then my brain says David Benavidez because he's bigger. He's at that weight naturally. He has fast hands as well. He can walk through the fire. He can step to you and break you down. But then my other side of the brain says, yeah, Boo Boo Andrade isn't naturally 168. However, he is big and strong enough to move up the weight class and still be strong. So do you see why I'm having a serious dilemma making a decision here? Like, this is a really tough fight to make a decision on. It is very difficult, man. I don't know. I can't answer the question, man. I don't know. How important is an amateur before turning pro? How important is an amateur before going pro, man? How important is the amateurs, I guess you're asking? I think it's very important. If you have the opportunity to go amateur and stay amateur as long as you possibly can, that's your best bet. You know what I mean? But not everybody has that luxury because some people start off late. You know what I mean? But if you're young enough, I would definitely stay amateur as long as possible. Hey, coach, thoughts on training boxing for the love of it? I don't think I'll ever compete, but I love training and sparring. I think that I think that is one of the best things you could do is to do it just for the love of it. I think what happens to a lot of guys who decide to go pro, um, you ruin a little bit of it in a sense because now it's simply just your job. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring the perfect person on for this, Eddie.
You.
So this is a good question. I brought you on immediately because as soon as I got asked the question, I'm gonna give my answer, then I'm gonna let you jump in and give an answer from a professional fighter's point of view. And
Okay.
I'm gonna give it from a point of view as a guy who never went pro. So actually, this is two good points of views. So,
Right.
hey, coach, thoughts on training boxing for the love of it? I don't think I'll ever compete, but I love training slash sparring. I said personally, I think that's the best way to approach it because when you really have love for the sport, you're not giving yourself any expectations. You're simply just learning the craft. You're learning how to, actually just enjoy the process. Now, on the flip side of that, when you say okay, you love the training slash sparring, you don't think you'll ever compete. Now, when you say compete, I mean competition could be amateur competition, it could be smokers, it could be masters
Mhm.
division as you get older. So I don't know if that's something you never want to explore. I've never met anybody who's really boxed except for one person. I actually did meet one person. But I don't know anybody other than this one person who I knew that really got good at boxing that at some point didn't actually want to compete, whether it be
Right.
amateur, whether it be some sort of a tournament, anything, a firefighter versus police, like all these different
Right.
approaches you can do. But what's your thoughts, Eddie? Like, do you like if you like, do you feel like what he's saying? Like, you fought as a professional, you had no choice. But have you had a choice? What do you recommend?
Well, I look at it as you know how I'm gonna do it. I'm hearing myself. I'm not now. Um, I look at it in terms of how I treat basketball or how I enjoy basketball. Like I know I'm never going to be a professional level player. It's just not going to happen. I don't have enough time. But the love for it doesn't dim. Never will dim. I'm going to still play as long as I possibly can. And I think that's how you really get the true essence of the sport. You know what I mean? I think it's. I don't want to say all. I don't think it's necessarily. I'm not gonna say better, but yeah, maybe it is because you could actually truly enjoy it without the politics and stuff like that getting involved. You know what I mean? Even in the amateur level, there's a lot of politics and there's a lot of things you'll have to deal with that. So, but I agree. And do I think he'll never compete? Probably not. I think he will actually at some point get the urge to do it. You'll get bit by the bug. It's just, you see yourself, you're in the gym with some of these guys who are actually out there competing and they're doing well and you're able to handle them in sparring. You're going to be like, man, well, if they're doing it, well, I know I can do it. You know what I mean? Why can't I get out there and do it? You know what I'm saying? So I
That's
do.
usually that's usually the gauge, when you spar somebody,
Hmm.
because that's what happened with me. I was sparring guys, getting the
Yeah.
best of guys, and then these guys actually were, fighting. And I was like, hold on, why am I not fighting? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And eventually I had to go ahead and jump in because it was like, there's no way I could let this guy do it and not do it. And then what ended up hurting me was when I couldn't stay committed to boxing, I started doing other stuff. Guys that I was so far better than, those guys started turning pro. And when they started
Hmm.
turning pro, that's why it was so hard for me to let go of boxing. Like when I was like 25, 26 years old, my time has passed already. But in my mind, I was like, nah, I'm still going to go pro. I'm still going to go pro. I'm
You
still
could
going to
have.
do it. I could have, but had I went pro at 22 years old when I was really, actively training regularly like that and dieting and running and doing everything I was supposed to do, I had a far better chance. But
Right.
me, I just dragged it out. But since I was good at it, I never wanted to admit that I wasn't going to go pro until eventually I just had to freaking come to a reality that either I'm going to do it or I'm not. I chose not to. However, a lot of guys that I was better than turned pro and turned out to be decent pros. And it kind of like bothers you sometimes. Now I'm okay with it. Now that I've had so much success as a coach, I'm okay with it
Yeah.
now. But I remember there was years where it really, really fucked with me. It really bothered me. You know what I'm saying?
I can. Definitely understand that. And even now with me, sometimes not taking advantage of opportunities that I see. When I see these guys out here, and I'm saying some of these dudes, I'm like, he's the top guy now, and it's like, wow. You know what I mean, I can't come out. I'm not saying that that some of the heavyweights that we all know aren't great. No, but I'm saying some of these other guys out here, and I'm looking at it and I'm saying like, man, I could have easily, I don't say easily, but I could have definitely handled this work. And sometimes it pushes you to think that maybe like I should jump back in there, maybe not. You know what I mean? But I look at them and I say, damn, I could have done more. You know what I'm saying? Or I could still be doing it. Let's say. So,
So I want to go ahead and talk about 20 reasons why you guys should box, and also consider online coaching, because a lot of times what people do is they'll look at obviously the people who are in here and the people who watch these live streams and the people who support our channel, for the most part, they understand the value in online coaching. That's why they show up.
right.
These are for some of the people who are still on the fence. You know what I mean? For instance, I was having a conversation where somebody even asked me. I actually made a video. I haven't posted it, but I'll just do it now, and I'll just say it again. Somebody said, "What's better, online coaching or coaching in person?" Now I said, "It depends," and the person was kind of like, "It depends. Like, this is a no-brainer. In person is far better." I'm like, "It can be far better," but I said, "But let's take a few things into consideration. Let's just say that the trainer that you have in person is teaching you incorrectly." You know what I'm saying? Let's say that the person that you have in person is just trying to be a trainer and is leading you the wrong way. Wouldn't it be smarter to go ahead and hire or purchase a course? Yes, you're not in person. We're not physically there, but the information is correct. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like, for instance, right now, if you were going to do some basketball coaching, I know you love basketball. If you had the chance to train with a guy who you don't really know if he's legit or not, or you could just purchase a package from a freaking proven NBA coach. It's like, listen, we're going to sell you this package online, Eddie. You do have to do the work on your own. Now, we do have upgrades and access to private communities if you have further questions. However, we're not going to be there in person. Would you not jump on that opportunity, or would you just train with the guy who you're not sure about?
Well, I'm gonna go with the information that I know is gonna work. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go and just start working out with somebody just because I think it's great that they're there and they're gonna help me out. Now, granted, sometimes there's benefit in that, especially with basketball, where you're just getting shots up. But with boxing and even in basketball, you don't want to take information that is not valid, because you take information that's not valid, you're gonna make a ton of mistakes based on that. And I'm not trying to be working super duper hard at something that I know is going to be ineffective. So if I'm going to work hard, I'm going to work hard with the stuff that I know is going to work, stuff that I've seen and has been proven to me that is definitely beneficial. And truth be told, in basketball, I had a in-person coach that was great, and he helped me out. He trained me a lot, but I had to do a lot of stuff on my own because he was busy with a lot of other pro guys. So I had to work on my craft and that by myself a lot of the time. So I had to take things that we worked on and do it myself. So those are things that you can do too.
You know what's crazy? And I always tell people that. It's funny you say that, because even though a person might be there in person physically, doesn't mean you get them to watch over you the whole entire time. It's the same thing as if you was to ask me a question online, like somebody asked me, and they go ahead and they work on. Also, I always say, if you have the benefit of a hybrid, I always say hybrid. If you do have a coach and he's giving you good information, but he's extremely busy, you fill the gaps by learning extra information and working on your own. So the courses is another thing that can be a supplement to your training. People ask me all the time how to utilize these courses. Hey, coach, man, can you give me a step-by-step on how to use the courses? I'm like, bro, everybody's different. Like, I can't just tell you, do this, and do this, because you might have two left feet. You might not be able to step forward or step back properly. And if I tell you Monday, I want you to work the jab, hook, and the cross. Tuesday, I want you to work the cross, hook to the body, and this. But what if you don't even got the stance right? How can I give you that? So that's where it becomes personalized. And with that being said, that's where having access to a community that we have, where you can showcase your training, where we can give you real advice, where you can go ahead and book a call with me, where I could bring Eddie in, we can both look at your stuff. That's where things get more personalized. You know what I'm saying? But if you could have a hybrid approach where a coach in person tells you this, and this, and now you're like, okay, I'm ready for the next step, but my coach is too busy. He can't hold mitts for me. He's working with a pro. He's doing this and doing that. At least I know I can go ahead and look at the courses. I can message Ant on Facebook. I can figure something out that way. You see what I'm saying?
It's like being in a good, real hot gym, a real nice gym, a gym where there's a lot of good fighters. That's essentially what the community is like. You know what I'm saying? You getting to go online and take a look at, what is this guy doing? How he throw these shots? Man, okay, he does it like that. Oh wow, damn, I want to, you know what I mean? And you can literally piggyback off of different things that the guys are doing, and then you can learn from maybe some of the mistakes they might be making. Talking to the coach, like hitting you up and being able to say, "Oh, I'm doing this. I saw this other guy do this. Is this correct?" And just getting information. I think it's great. Honestly, this what we got going on, and I think people can learn a lot from it. No question.
Well, not only that, and I don't say this to your own horn, Eddie. And just so you guys know, through the live stream, I will be doing Q&A tonight. We will be talking about the fight tomorrow. You guys can definitely, even when Eddie gets off the stream, because I know Eddie's time is limited, I'm even going to make it available for you guys to grab the link and talk to me or whatever. But just know ahead of time, I will be name dropping my courses throughout the whole night, constantly reminding you guys about the sale, because I've been promoting this sale, Eddie, since like the first week of November, not the first week, but the week after. And there's a lot of people who watch this who paid more. And my whole thing is, and those people, I got something for y'all too, just so y'all know. I don't think I forgot about y'all. But my other thing is, I gotta keep reminding people. Now I have one person actually, and I see a few questions I want to tackle, guys, so we're gonna get to that right now. But I had somebody actually say something that upset me. They emailed me and said, "Hey, Coach Ant, the courses are a lot like the YouTube videos where you're teaching instructions." You know what I mean? And they were like expecting something else. So I said, okay, well, let me ask you a question. What were you expecting? First of all, our YouTube channel, just so you guys know, we got 1,000 videos teaching instructions. We never hold nothing back when we teach a YouTube channel. Like if you go through my YouTube channel, we got world-class information on YouTube. Whenever we've given out free game on YouTube, it's always been the same kind of material you're going to get from my courses. So that's step one. Anybody who's on the fence and thinks they're going to get something different, if anything, you should be like, I'm so happy that not only is it like your YouTube channel, it's more in depth because you're actually organizing the program, making it step by step and not leaving anything out. We'll do a YouTube video, touch on one topic, and then we'll bounce somewhere else where it doesn't really continue the topic. You need to progressively train in boxing. You see what I'm saying? So you have anything to say about that, Eddie?
No, I think the YouTube videos, obviously, like you said, we don't hold a thing back. We try to, sometimes we give up too much game for no money, which, I mean, it ain't always about the money. And it's like when I train some of my guys, sometimes like the prices, prices are always high, you know what I mean? But it's because we're giving real game and you're learning a lot, especially in an in-person situation. But I mean, there's so much that you're getting. So like if you purchase,
not to cut you off, Eddie, I love what you said. It's not just about the money, but the thing is this: we don't know how to do it any other way. If I'm gonna give you a free product, that free product is gonna be just as good as my paid product. Just so you guys know, when I post a mitt work video, you're going to see exactly what I would work on with that fighter on that particular situation, whether it's a fancy mitt work video, a technical mitt work video. I don't hold shit back on my free stuff, and I don't hold shit back on my paid stuff. So at the 100%. End of the day, I don't know how to do it any other way. I don't know how to say, let me give somebody a shitty YouTube video and then go ahead and sell them something really good. How am I going to sell you something good by giving you something that's garbage for free? You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Now that's a fact.
No sense. I gotta give you something of quality, so if he's giving this for free, then he's gonna sell me something free. The problem is people once they pay for something, they don't want to do the work no more. They pay for something
Nah.
and they're like, oh, now I don't actually want to go through the shit. I
So
don't
so
actually want to
so
go through the
so
work.
so they think that you supposed to just wave a magic wand and they know everything about
Exactly.
what's in the course. That's not gonna happen. I don't give a damn how much information you got. If you got a trainer right next to you every day, you still got to do the work. It's still on you. Like my dad was next to me literally every day, and guess what? I still had to train. You know what I mean? I could have ran away, you know what I mean, or something like that, so I didn't have to, but I didn't, and I stayed and did the work, and that's why I got to this point. So, with the YouTube videos or with the paid content, all of that shit's gonna be 100% beneficial to you. You know what I mean? If you spend money on it, you can believe that you're gonna get even deeper into what you want to learn.
How about this, Eddie? How about we had the kid from New York City who drove 2 hours to train? Just so you guys know,
Facts.
we're in the greater Philadelphia area. All right, just so y'all know. So we're like Philly. Like you can call us Philly, but
Yeah,
we're Jersey. We live in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
we're basically Philly. I work with all the top guys in Philadelphia. Eddie's boxed. He's considered a Philadelphia boxer, even though he's from Pittsburgh. So we're in the greater
yeah.
Philly area. I had a kid from New York purchase the Master Boxing Bundle. He wanted to train with me in person. The fact that he invested into it, I was like, you know what? That's not part of it, but come on down. Come train with me. I did that with
Facts.
another kid that was from 2 hours in PA somewhere. He's like, hey,
Yep.
man, how can I come down and train with you? I'm like, you know what, bro? You're willing to
Hey,
invest. You bought my courses. Come down and train. Eddie, tell him.
he's good too. They were good, both of them.
Eddie, do I train people in person like that?
No, no,
I do not
no,
train people in person like that because I got a lot going
no.
on. We got Raymond Ford. I got the online platform. I got a lot of stuff. I got a daughter, a newborn. I got a lot of stuff
Yeah,
going on. I'm not training people in person, but when people invest into my product, I'm like, how
yeah.
can I turn this person down?
Yeah. I mean, they invest in the product. They show confidence in what we're teaching. You know what I mean? We gotta give it right back. You know what I mean? Got to make them feel welcome.
100%. All right, let's go into some of these Q&A, guys. I told you throughout the night, I'm constantly going to big up what we're doing because I know for a fact what we're doing is going to help you guys. Let's see here. Is training 3 to 4 times intensely a week enough? Eddie, how do you feel?
I think so. I think so. I think it's about smarter, not harder, sometimes. But like I can say, when I was in the UK, we trained probably 6 days a week. But that at some point, then we took it down to 5. But we were training 3 times a day. But and most people are like, damn, 3 times a day. But there was no workout consisted of any longer than an hour and 30 minutes. So even though it was 3 times a day, it was still not the whole day taken. You know what I'm saying? But 3 or 4 times a week is great if you can fit in the amount of stuff you need to in that amount of time. And like I would say, I would lean more to 4, but it also depends on how serious you're trying to take it. Like if you're talking about challenging for, like a title at some point in your career, and you're looking to really have a career with it, three or four times. I mean, 4 times a week is probably the least amount, I would say, because you're gonna have to spend a lot of time, perfecting your craft. It's not always just about the conditioning aspect why you got to do more times. It's more about the amount of information you need to take in and the things you need to hone down to make sure that your skill level is the way it is, where it needs to be at when performing, especially in the professional level, at the high professional level. So it all depends on what you're doing it for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. How many times a week do you need to spar? In my personal opinion,
Shit.
I think it all depends. I think it goes back to what Eddie says. It all depends on what your goals are. When I got guys competing, competitive level boxers, it can be anywhere from 2 to 3, sometimes 4 times a week. I mean, we've had guys box every day. You know what I mean? Not intensely, not intensely every spar, but I've had guys spar every day, and then I've had guys only spar twice in a week, 3 times in a week. I don't think there's a magic number. However, I do think that when you're getting ready for competition, sparring is probably the most
It's
important.
important.
It's the most important element of the training. I mean, you can run miles all fucking day. You can do strength and conditioning all day. You can hit the heavy bag till your shoulders are about to fall off. If you're not sparring, you have to simulate a fight to get prepared for a fight. The only way to simulate a fight in boxing is sparring. So that's the best thing you could do. Now, this is the problem. too many guys spar too hard too
Mm-hmm.
often, and that's what ruins careers. So that's why there's a fine line. I said this the other day. This is my analogy. When it comes to sparring, when it comes to training, when it comes to all this shit, it's like putting something in an oven and
Mm-hmm.
knowing when to take it out.
Facts. I never heard that analogy, but I like it. That
Knowing
actually
when to
works.
take it out. If you leave it in the oven too long, it's gonna get burnt. If you take it out too soon, it's not cooked
It ain't
fully.
done.
You know what I'm saying? And it takes a master cook to be able to eyeball that. Because the package might say 15 minutes, but when you put it in, you're like, yo, it don't look right. It's still, it looks like it needs an additional 10 minutes. You ever had that happen before when you're cooking?
Of course,
But what if you
all the
was to take
time.
it out prematurely cook? Oh, the box said 15 minutes, so therefore I got it. And you're eating a cold ass hot pocket or some shit. You know, that's a hot
Yeah,
pocket like 30 seconds. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah.
you need to put the dish in, and then it takes a master cook, a master chef to be able to eyeball it and know that's enough. That's why
When it's time.
when it comes to boxing training, a lot of this fundamentals are set in stone, but then it becomes a lot of eyeballing and knowing through experience. Like when a coach has been working with fighters for a certain amount of years, you know when a fighter's peaking. You know when to tell a fighter, okay, it's time to kick his ass out the gym. He's doing too much right now. You know when to slow it down. You know when to pick it up. You know when to bring in the hard sparring. You know when to tone it down. But that does not happen overnight. That takes years of experience. And a lot of the times, the fighter doesn't even know it. There's an old saying that a fighter will train too hard, and an immature insecure trainer and fighter will overtrain due to their insecurity. So therefore, you have to know.
I've done it.
Yeah, you have to know when to pull back because, and I understand that. Big shout out to Billy Briscoe, by the way. He's the one who gave me that one. But that right there is the truth, because it's like, if I'm an insecure trainer and Eddie's an insecure fighter, we're gonna just keep training because we feel like we gotta do more. We gotta do more. We ain't doing enough. We gotta do more. But then burnout, what happens then, or overtraining, and in boxing, I don't care what anybody says, overtraining is a real thing. Eddie, touch on that. Talk about a situation where you might have overtrained in your professional career.
Bro, all right, I got a perfect situation. I was getting ready for a fight, a 12-round fight, and I had just fought Ross Purity, who had fought Vladimir and beat Vladimir early on in his career. Not too early, but I think he had a title already or something like that. And Ross Purity was the first person to beat Vladimir Klitschko, right? And I was about to fight him, and I fought him, and I won. Like I was supposed to. It was on ESPN, right? So I win the fight, but I watched the video and I didn't like how I looked. I didn't like my body. I was like, nah. So I literally, I fought on Tuesday night fights. I was in the gym on Thursday because my dad would not let me go to the gym on Wednesday. I went to the gym on Thursday and I trained my ass off from that day until September 9th and I fought, September 8th, because then I fought the next day. When I tell you I trained like mad, I went to Sim Rockman's camp, and I went to Travis Kaufman had a camp up in Reading a little while after I left that camp. I went to 2 camps in between that, and was still training like a fool, like going crazy, because I just wanted to look right and I wanted to look the part, and I also wanted to be sharp. And my first 4 rounds in that fight, I felt I was so sharp. I remember he threw a jab and I counter right hand. I landed a counter right hand. Instantly, I saw a big ass black mark on his face. I was so sharp. I was like, every time I threw a punch, it was like I was throwing a razor at him. But I got to maybe the 5th, 6th, and 7th round. And for some reason, I couldn't put my finger on why at the time. And I just didn't understand. It started to be more laboring. Like I couldn't move like I wanted. You know what I mean? I was avoiding the shots, and I was laboring. They're like, what the fuck is going on? So then I'm 7, 8. Man, I dropped the kid twice. But by the 9th and 10th round, by the 10th round, I could barely pick my arms up. I had nothing left. I left everything in the gym, bro. Everything in the gym. You can't do yourself. You cannot train at a million for the entire year or even for 5-6 months. You have to know when to take it up and you got to know when to take it down. That was for a belt, right? For like a minor world title belt, right? I couldn't even, and for the state title as well. I couldn't even hold the belts up, bro. I couldn't even hold the belts up. Them belts were on my body. I was sitting there like, you should have seen my face. It was in the blue horizon before they shut it down. My face, my face was like, I could not even hold the belts up. I was so worn out. You have to know your body. You got to listen to your body. You know what I'm saying? You can't just get in there and thinking, oh, yeah, I could do this forever, because it's not going to be forever. And you're not going to be at 100 forever. You got to learn how to go up and how to go down. And it happened to me when I went to the UK too. Didn't lay off. I ended up being sick for 2 months. Had to fight sick, had to train sick, had to just keep going. I was sick. I couldn't spar like I wanted. I couldn't do nothing, but we still kept training, kept fighting. You know what I mean? It shows that you're a man, but man, you gotta know when to hold and when to fold. You gotta know when to take it up and then when to take it down. And I just wasn't listening to my body at those times.
Jimmy got a good question here that I'm gonna touch on, and Eddie could touch on as well. They say everyone does things different in boxing. Does this mean there really isn't a wrong way to do something in boxing? Now, you know what? That's a fantastic question, and I got my opinion on that. I guess if you say, in theory, there isn't a wrong way to do something in boxing, it's true.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you could do anything you want. It's like life, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's really no right or wrong in life. It's just consequences to actions in life. You don't got to live righteously. You don't have to not do crimes. You don't have to not do certain things. You don't have to read that book. You don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to eat right, but you probably should. Right? You should probably eat right. You should probably go to the gym. You should probably avoid those crimes. You should probably, do things the right way. And don't get me wrong, you got anomaly situations where guys smoke cigarettes till they're 90. But do most people smoke cigarettes till they're 90? Right? So you're going to have situations where certain guys might get away with certain things, like a Maidana, or what's the guy that we just watched recently that we thought was
Navarrete.
He fights horribly fundamentally, in my opinion. However, it works for him. It worked for Maidana. It worked back in the days for Ricardo Mayorga. But is that the way you should approach it, or should you attempt to do things the right way so you can be even better than what you would be have you do it the wrong way? You got any thoughts on that, Eddie?
Right. I mean, I agree with that 100%. You know what I mean? You should in anything, you should intend to do the things the traditional way, and if certain things traditionally kind of limit your success, then you take it outside the lines a little bit and see how far outside you can go before you have to pay too big of a price. So it's just like you said, man, any style that works is an effective style, but you should initially do it the basic way first, because those methods are proven. They've worked for years upon years upon years. This is a very old sport. So, you don't want to go too far outside the lines until you find limitations. Then once your limitations come up, now you got to find another way around them. And then once you do, and you're able to do it without paying a huge price, like Navarrete, he obviously has a good enough chin, right? He's strong, he's determined, he keeps coming no matter what, and he's able to deal with whatever the onslaught is, even though he makes a ton of mistakes. So he's somewhat outside the lines, but he understands what his strengths are, and he's able to administer his ability onto his level of ability onto the guy he's fighting. Not necessarily in the most traditional way, you know what I mean? He's a little non-traditional in that, but he still gets the job done. You know what I mean? Like, as opposed to a guy like myself, who's a little bit more traditional and more skilled, who stays within the rules a little bit more. Let's say when I say the rules, I don't mean whether it's right or wrong, but I mean whether it's technically correct or not. Whether I'm throwing a proper jab or a proper right hand. So with a guy like Navarrete, he doesn't really let that, stop him too much. And even with Pacquiao in some ways, A lot of people may try to crucify me when I say this, but there's a lot of things Pacquiao does too with footwork and in combination with the way he throws punches in some shots that are just not the right way. But he's been so successful in his career. What's to say that I'm right, or what's to say that the traditional way is right? You know what I mean? He's been successful. He's been more successful than most fighters. So, you know, you gotta give it up to those types of situations. And if that's the case, then you know what is right and what's wrong.
And that's another thing, and that's why we stress so hard on learning everything. You know, like
Yep.
since we got, of course, how to box on the inside. And you should have these, Jimmy, because I believe you grabbed the master box of movement. There's how to box on the inside, how to box on the outside. We got the Philly shell, we got defensive principles, we got 150 different combos, we got different things that you can learn, right? You learn everything, but then at the end of the day, you become your own style with that information, right? So like if a trainer's teaching you how to box, even if I teach you just the basics by the book, bop, 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 right? But once you learn everything, you know what I mean? Your own kind. I always tell people this damn analogy too, Eddie. I give you the brushes and the paint, but you gotta paint your own picture. So
Facts.
with the tools that you have, you're going to utilize them however you see fit for you. It's kind of like you're an artist, so to speak. And I think that's what boxers are artists in a way where it's like, wow, that's why we're always intrigued by that new fighter who fights a little differently, because we're like, that was beautiful how he utilized the same fundamentals that have been taught for hundreds of years, but in his own unique way. And he was able to paint this beautiful picture. You know, Sugar Ray Robertson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather, Eddie Chambers, Chris Bird, the Klitschko's, Tyson Fury, Mike Tyson, Winky Wright. All these guys fought differently. Eric Morales. All these guys fought differently, but you can find beautiful things in all of those styles. You could be like, wow, that was beautiful how he did that.
Right.
That was ill how he did. I remember I would watch the hot fighter of the moment, and everybody in the gyms was trying to fight like the hot fighter. Like they started thinking that fighter. And then when that fighter kind of died off and lost, everybody started mimicking the next hot fighter. You know what I'm saying?
I got something for you, Ant. A guy from your gym in Florida. Remember Kassim Ouma?
Yeah. I had the pleasure to spar him before.
Yo, Kassim Ouma, if you watched him, just looked at him. Like, yo, he's garbage, man. Like, who's this dude? Like, how is he going to even beat anything? And you get in and spar with him, he's like, yo, he's the best fighter I've ever been in the world. He's the best fighter in the world. I ain't never been in there with nobody like that.
I can tell you firsthand because I actually sparred him when I was an amateur. I'm not sure if he remembers, but I sure do. And I remember that first round with him was one of the hardest first rounds I've ever had boxing anybody. And when I used to see him shadow box, it was like he would literally be shadow boxing like this all the time. Like, so it wasn't like he was shadow boxing like, like he would just be like, right. And he was a southpaw, but he had a right jab type of a hook that he would throw that was really fucking awkward, hard to stop. He had strength. At that time, he was I think 17-0. I was still a novice, but still, I remember saying to myself, damn, this motherfucker is difficult. You know what I'm saying? And then I would see him box other guys who were good fighters, and I see him do it to them as well. And these guys were pros. And that's when I knew, okay. I was like, I knew it wasn't a fluke. I knew it wasn't a fluke. It was like, this guy's really difficult. So yeah, you know, Kassim was the man.
Let you know. Would you say, Ant? There's more ways than one to skin a cat or something like that. That was it. There's more ways. There's more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this. He may not have been the prototypical, the most talented, fast, sharp looking dude, skill wise. But guess what? He got the job done. And I've seen him many times take people to the brink. You know what I mean, in the ring. And he was obviously a former champ as well. So he's obviously been one of the best guys out there. And for the longest time, I was like, man, this dude's going to be on top for a long time because he just kept beating everybody. And then, obviously I remember I forget who he fought. And I was in Vegas and I seen him end up losing. I was actually at the fight, which kind of surprised me because I never seen anybody at that point beat him. So, but that lets you know, man, you ain't got to have the sexiest style. You know what I mean? It ain't got to everything look all nice. You know what I mean? For you to be successful. You know what I mean?
Man, let me tell you another story about Kassim that I'm sure people know, people who do know about Kassim Ouma. But he used to smoke, no lie,
That's crazy.
a whole black and mild before he come into the gym. He was also known for smoking marijuana freely.
Mm-hmm.
These ain't secrets. But when he would spar, he would be coughing up phlegm
Coughing.
in the middle of the rounds. Like I'm talking about coughing, like
Yeah.
that. Like it was crazy. And I used to just
In
watch
the
him
fights.
spar. Yeah, I used to watch him spar and be like, damn, bro, like just stop smoking. But he just liked smoking. And I partied with him before, man. We went out, popped
Yeah.
bottles. He was a drinker. Like Kassim was different, but then he'd be on the gym on Monday, and he actually, I think at the time, broke a copy box for most punches thrown in a fight.
Yep.
So like he was a
Yeah.
different kind of animal, man. He was a different kind of
So
animal. But again, that's an anomaly situation. You
that's a
try
fact.
that. You try doing what Kassim did. Go ahead, smoke all day, smoke a black a mile before you box, drink on the weekends, and show up on Monday. And I want to see how you perform. See, you're
Most
talking
of
about a
my,
guy who was in the African army and he went through all types of trauma. He had a different kind of like life, you
his
know.
mentality was so different than the
Yeah, his
average
dude,
person.
like
Yeah.
I think he had to like catch bodies and everything. And I think there's a movie or a
Yeah.
story on him. I never even
Yeah.
seen
There
that.
was. There
Yeah,
was.
so check him out, man. Big shout out to Kassim Ouma, man. Haven't seen him probably in 20 years, but he was definitely
He,
inspiration for
he,
me because he was the star out of the gym that I was training out of in Florida at the time. He was the top fighter at the time, and
yeah.
Lou Duva used to bring down all these fighters. Tim Witherspoon used to come down because he was his trainer for a short period of time, and I met Tim down in Florida actually before I met him here in PA. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Tim Witherspoon, former heavyweight champion of the world. So, I know you know Tim very well,
Oh
Eddie.
yeah. I sparred him. I sparred him, and he was old, and he still was a strong motherfucker. Like it was like fighting a brick wall. That's real shit. Like there's been very few people I've been in the ring with it was as strong as him.
So let me ask
I
you a
mean,
question. You've been in the ring with guys like Tim Witherspoon, who's like a throwback fighter, right?
yeah.
Guy who used that catcher's mitt real well.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say about that era of heavyweight then in this era of heavyweight? Because you actually got a chance to actually see firsthand what it was like boxing a heavyweight from a prior era, basically. And he's
Yeah.
actually not even as much of a throwback as some of the other throwback guys that
Yeah.
people like to bring up in these discussions of who would have done who, what, and what era. What's your
Yeah.
thoughts, considering you just said the man
Man.
was a brick wall? Like, what's
Yeah.
your thoughts?
I could outbox him. But I mean, when he was young, I don't know how it would have went. That motherfucker would have been. He was nasty when he was young too. So, but I mean, the '90s, and when you look at the '90s and how many great heavyweights was around, it's crazy. When you just think of the names, you could run off names. And I imagine what the top 20 looked like back then. It was a who's who of high level heavyweights back then. Not to mention the top heavy. Like at the top, like with Holyfield, Tyson, Bo. Lennox and guys like that. I mean, there were so many more that were there. So it's like, as far as the amount of high level competition, there was a shit ton. But now it's pretty top heavy. Like when you think of the Tyson Furies and Deontay Wilders, AJ and Usyk and guys like that right now, and even in the last 10 years when you bring the Klitschko brothers in, once they were dominating their time, there were still good fighters around. It's just that they weren't to that level. It's more so top heavy. There's not a wealth of fighters out there, in the heavyweight division that are really, 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 like that. And dominating. I don't say dominating. Obviously, if you got all those heavyweights there, somebody was losing. But it's just like,
Let me bring this up. Somebody, Prodigy, shout out to my
ooh,
boy Prodigy, one of my fight night guys. He says, could Prime Vitali beat Fury?
I don't think so. I think that's a tough fight. It's a really tough fight for Vitaly.
Honestly, Eddie, I don't know, bro.
No, no.
Lennox Lewis.
He'll get outboxed. He'll get outboxed. He'll
What
get
do you
outboxed.
think? Lennox
Hmm?
Lewis or Tyson?
If Tyson can stay away from that power, if he can keep range, it's different. It's different because remember Lennox. Most of the guys, even if you watch the Vitali fight when Lennox fought Vitali's taller and rangier, and he had a hell of a time not saying landing shots because he was landing shots, but he had a hell of a time with Vitali, and a lot of it's because he was tough, but it was also because he was a big guy. You know what I mean? It was difficult. Just he couldn't get out of the way of the shots as much.
Let's take some things into consideration because I know Tyson Fury firsthand. You sparred him. You fought Vladimir Klitschko, so you know what it's like to be in the ring with those type of guys. But my thoughts is this. My thoughts is this. Because you're always very pro Tyson Fury, and I know it's because you really, truly, honestly believe what you're saying. I know you're not just saying it biasly. However, I do want to bring up something. Tyson Fury has shown vulnerability in his career against guys that I don't think are as good as Vitali. I don't think are as good as Lennox. I don't think we're as good as Riddick Bowe, like you like to say he would beat Riddick Bowe as well. So these guys who have shown the vulnerabilities that Tyson has, don't you think those champions would have found a way to win had they even remotely hurt him in that regard? Because it's like if Tyson Fury got cracked with a right hand by Vitali Klitschko and went down, how is Vitali going to handle the rest of that situation?
He was gonna probably come and try. He's gonna try to come and get him. He's gonna try to come and get him. But see, that's the thing. How many fighters have you seen the size of Tyson Fury get up, and then perform after as well as he does?
He does well. He does recover well.
You drop him most of the time. He gets up and you pay for him getting dropped more so than he does. So it becomes now of not only his ability in the ring, but his toughness and his willingness to fight through adversity. Some of these big heavyweights aren't able to do that as well. So it's like you look at Bowe, you look at different guys like that when Bowe was dealing with I'm gonna say Bowe in particular now because he was dealing with Andrew Galata. And I know you're saying prime Bowe, but I mean, what really separated him from that prime Bowe? You know what I'm saying? Like he just met somebody whose style was a little bit more complicated for him to deal with at the time. He's a little stronger, maybe a little tougher than some of the guys he might have faced. Who knows? I'm not saying obviously Holyfield all-time great, but what I'm saying is maybe it was just that situation.
I think the reason I said that is because I believe there was a certain time lapse between the time.
I don't know.
I have to look at the dates, but I do believe there was a time lapse, and I also believe that he had a discipline issue. I think that Riddick Bowe.
He definitely did. He definitely did.
That's why Riddick Bowe, as good as I believe he is, I don't know that he can. I don't think he cracks even the top 10, even though skill-wise, I think he's top 10 material. But I don't know if he cracks the top 10 because of that short-lived reign that he had. And I just think that he lacked the discipline to really be considered an all-time great. Like, in order to be an all-time great in anything, it's not about talent. It's about consistency. And that's why certain guys will not make the list that you might I'm not saying you, I'm talking about people in the chat, me.
You might not agree with it.
You can like a fighter all you want. What does the stats say? What does the consistency say? It doesn't matter. Because like I said before, I said it in interviews, I go to Philadelphia right now and I could bring back 100 motherfuckers who could box. There will never be nothing in this game. There will never be nothing. No disrespect to Philly. I'm just trying to show that there's so much
but that's
talent.
Anywhere.
Yeah,
that's anywhere.
There's so much talent in these inner cities that go nowhere. Why? Because discipline, consistency. I'm a product of it. I could box too. A lot of motherfuckers don't know because I never got a chance to showcase it due to discipline, consistency, certain things that you need in order to be a freaking champion. Skills ain't enough.
Right.
Skills
hey,
you gotta be willing to go the long route.
Hey, confidence too. Confidence is huge. That was my biggest problem. Not enough confidence. I mean, I always had confidence, but not enough.
Eddie,
not enough.
Hold on, Eddie. You went to the top of the food chain, though.
I think there's no. So imagine if I was supremely confident every time out, how far I would have got.
Yeah,
think about it. Confidence is huge. That must mean I was so good that even in spite of my low levels of confidence in some areas, not all, I was still able to do it. So that really lets you know how much talent there was there. But you need these things to succeed at the highest level for a long period of time. So I 100% agree with you. And I think that's why Tyson, that's why I rate him above a lot of guys because I know he has that confidence. He has that belief and it's shown, you know what I mean, multiple times. So that's why when you ask me those questions, you think about history, I always put him high because I think his level of confidence, not to mention his stats, his stature, his height, his boxing ability at that height and weight is like it's things that the guys in the past has never seen. And I don't know how they would have dealt with that because it would have been extremely hard. If you look at Lennox versus Vitali, man, he had hard ass time with Vitali, and it was because of his size. And I think he wasn't as in the best of condition at the time. But still, I think no matter whether he was in great condition or not or sharp, he still was going to have a hard time with him. You know what I mean? He would have had a hard time with Vladimir too. But it's the size and ability. It was an even playing field. And a lot of times with these other guys that Lennox were fighting, some of the guys just wasn't big enough and big and good enough. Pause. You know what I mean? So that's what at the end of the day, that's what it is. So with Tyson, he would have had a whole different animal to deal with.
Okay, man. My boy Tyler Brawler. I use your courses into my own training. Good stuff. Thank you very much, Tyler. Highly appreciate that. My man Dominic asking a question. What's the best way to set up and use the check hook? I mean, I'm gonna let you answer, Eddie. You're the fighter. How do you like to set it up?
I like to use the Floyd way, and I mean, I don't know if that's considered a check, but I like how he fought Corrales and what he did with the Corrales fight. He got him so unsure about everything with his jab that when he threw that,
he threw more of a gazelle in that,
more of a yeah, he was. I mean, I guess. Well, okay, let's use the Ricky Hatton. You know what I mean? It's like I think Ricky Hatton was so overly aggressive. You know what I mean? He was coming forward the entire time. All he had to do, the table was set for him to do it. All he had to do was react. And I'm not saying it was easy, but he definitely made the point of allowing Ricky to run into that left hook. But I think the best way to set that up is continue to maybe the shoulder roll. You know what I'm saying? Use the Philly shell right there. Let them continue to throw that right hand, not necessarily let it hit you. I'm not saying you let it hit you, but let them go ahead and throw it. Let them be free to throw it without a consequence right away. You know what I mean? That's how you set guys up. You get them used to doing something so they don't expect anything back. And you give that target, and then eventually you take it away into the format of you may make him miss, but then the last time you may make him pay. You know what I'm saying? You pull that shoulder and let that left hook come over the top of it. I mean, that's the best way I could think of setting it up. You know what I mean? Especially with an over aggressive guy like Ricky Hatton was at the time.
There you go, man. Another question coming from Spot Gap Crypto Directory. Coach, can you talk about changing levels and speeds when throwing the jab, slow, fast, upstairs body? I mean, that's one of the things that we teach. We work on that on the heavy bag. Eddie likes to do that. Eddie will walk around like literally like this, and then hit you with a quick ass jab. You know what I mean? It's just a way to get people to, get this. It's called deception. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you want to change the speed. Sometimes you want to throw a shot fast. You know what I'm saying? Just to see how they react to it. Other times you want to throw it slow, just so they can fall for the bait. So changing levels and speeds is exactly what it sounds like. It's pretty self-explanatory. As long as you have a good base, good fundamentals, understand how to throw your punches, understand how to throw combinations, you'll be able to do all those things easily and naturally just based off of what you just wrote. You wrote it out. Now it's about, can you fundamentally pull it off and execute it? You have anything you want to add to that, Eddie?
Oh, man, feints too. Add feints along with it. You know what I mean? I definitely, the changing the levels and all of that with the feints, I like to use the same thing. Go back to that Floyd Corrales fight. You know what I mean? He was doing that a lot. He was using a lot of feints, a lot of jabs, a lot of feints once he started throwing the jabs to the body. He started to get Corrales to focus on what was coming down there, and he got tired and sick of that jab to the body. Then he would feint it and then bring it upstairs. You know what I mean? Stuff like that too. I think all of those things that you mentioned is possible. And if you really wanted to see it, I would recommend, if you can watch that Corrales and Floyd fight, you'll see it in real time right there.
Yep. Coach, how do you feel about padding records? I don't have a feeling anymore. I'm kind of desensitized. What's the word?
Desensitized.
I'm desensitized.
Yeah.
Desensitized. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm so used to it at this point that it doesn't even matter anymore. Like, I don't even have it's so common. It's been happening since the beginning.
Yeah, it's like when you think about it, man. I mean, who knows the first 15 fighters?
We can go back. Listen, we can go back right now. I could pull up a great from any era, and they got their record.
Yeah, 10, 15 guys, you don't even know who they are. Never even heard of them. Yeah.
Let's pull somebody up right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull somebody up right now. We're going to do this right now. Watch this. Oh, man, that's what I like about share screen now. All right, like, it's crazy though, because it just showed, like, this isn't something new, guys. This isn't something new. This has been happening since the beginning of time. And you just have to learn to accept it. So let's just go ahead and let's look this up real quick. Present screen, share screen. Boom, boom. Okay, we're here. Can you guys see the screen?
Yeah. Oh, James.
We got one of our favorite fighters of all time here, James Toney. All right.
Yeah.
I just thought of the name. Just so you guys know, I just thought of this name. Like, this isn't even something that I was prematurely considering. I just said, let me think of somebody who's fantastic, right? Because they just asked that question. We all know he's a great. First fighter, 2-6. Second fighter, 1-11. Third fighter, 11-10. Fourth fighter, 3-1, 1-0, 0-4, 6-9, 7-2, 8-3, 0-7.
Mm-hmm.
What fight is this? He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And when he was 11-0, he fought a guy that was 0-7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. He's 77. Hold on. We're talking about the great James Toney here, y'all. He got a where's the 0-7 at? Shit, where the hell did the records get? Am I still looking at the same guy?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, I mean, what happened to the 0-7?
Yeah, so many damn fights you missed.
Okay. When he got to 12-0, he fought a guy 1-1. Okay, so he's 12-0 now. Okay, now he fights a decent record, 16-2, 8-3. Then he goes back to a guy 6-16, 18-4, 6-6. He's like what, 15-0 now?
Mm-hmm.
1-0. Now he got a decent record, 10-1, decent record, 15-11. Actually, that's not even really considered a decent record. That's a journeyman record, 24-11 journeyman, 12-9. So do you get where I'm going with this? Now he fights an undefeated fighter at 18-0 when he's finally, how many fights in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. He's 25-0. He finally fights another undefeated guy, which I'm not even sure who Murky Sosa is.
Oh, Murky Sosa, yeah. Murky Sosa, yeah. Yeah, he was good. He was a puncher. He's a puncher. Yeah.
And now his record starts to get a little bit more competitive. But even here, he's fighting a guy 9-3. He's probably 30-something-0 at this point, 11-9. Mm-hmm. He sneaks him in as he's up in here, 11-6. He's sneaking him in now. He's still fighting good fights in between, but they're throwing in the bums here and there. No disrespect to the fighters, but all I'm saying is, my point is, when we say that, this has been going on.
Yeah,
this is something new. This is just how boxing is. So I'm so desensitized to it that it's just like
desensitized.
If you can fight, and you could pass the eye test, because regardless of what I just said right there, that's not a knock for James Toney. We know what that motherfucker was capable of. We knew the kind of heart he had. We knew that he could dog it out with anybody. However, even he has a padded record if you want to go that route. You see what I'm trying to say? What you think about that, Eddie?
Oh, that's 1,000,000%. I mean, the first guy I fought was I think at the time I fought him, he was like 1-7 or 0-7 or something like that. Yeah, it was 0-7. I knocked him out in the second round. His name was Tyrone Austin. I fought the next guy I fought, got beat by Butterbean. He was 1-4. Bro, like I could tell you my first 10 straight. No problem. I fought one guy twice. His name was Joe Lenhart. Fought him for my fourth fight and my seventh fight, I think, or sixth fight. And he was about 6'7", 6'8", about 300 pounds. And he was just a big punching bag, but he was tough. You know what I mean? He would try, you know what I mean? But he was just tough. And these are the type of fights you need as you come up, man. We're in boxing. We're in the hurt business. You got to fight guys.
Can you talk about that real quick for the people out there that bash the fighters for fighting these quote unquote easy fights? Like, I'm not saying give the fighters an excuse, but talk about what it's like to fight a guy who isn't supposed to beat you, but what you still learn in those situations and what you still deal with in those situations. What's the if you had to say some positive things about those situations, what would you say they are for?
Oh man, there's plenty of positives in it. You know what I mean? First of all, you're getting a good win. You know what I mean? And some of these dudes have bad records, but they fought guns most of their career. When I'm talking about, they fought everybody. There's some trial horses out there right now that have as resumes that will make people blush. Like, yo, I can't believe he fought this guy too. They fought. When I say they fought everybody, that means they fought everybody. And some of these dudes ain't never been stopped. So that means you getting in there with dudes who been in there with everybody, got all this experience. Now they took beatings, but they're coming in there and they're trying to kick your ass, and they got all this experience, and at that point, their skill levels as high as anybody else. I mean, not anybody else, but their skill levels is going to be as high as it's ever been, because they know everything they're doing. They know themselves. They know the capabilities of what they're able to do against high-level competition, not just some cream puffs that they've been in there with. They've been in there with serious guns. So you're getting in there with a dude who's coming to spoil the party, and he's been in there with, I mean, some of the best fighters in the world. Some of them been in there with some of the best fighters in history, which is crazy to think that, but this is the truth. And they're coming in there and they're coming to kick your ass. They're not coming in here just to take a win real quick. In a lot of cases, these dudes are trying to spoil the party. And some of these dudes can't get knocked out, because if they do, that messes up their money for the next fight that they're going to take. So they're in there trying to fight you like you're the heavyweight champ of the world. And they're coming in doing whatever they got to do to stay on their feet. So don't think just because you got some of these dudes with bad records that these dudes are bums, because a lot of times it's not that they're bums. It's just that they got a situation where they got to fight for money, and they ain't got a chance to sit there and say, oh, okay, well, you know, I'll take this month off and do this and that.
Can you talk a little bit about also like the business side of boxing, where like a guy gets a call on short notice or has to move up a weight class, but he has a name and then he fights a guy, so it kind of manipulates the fans to think, wow, he beat this guy or that guy. Like, talk a little bit about that.
My favorite fighter of all time is James Toney, and we got a call from my soon-to-be promoter, Goose and Tudor Promotions, trying to get me to take a fight on 3 weeks' notice to fight James Toney. My manager got the call.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know, this is why I get pissed, man.
Mm-hmm.
I sell courses, right? Teaching the fundamentals of boxing from step by step. I've worked with 9 world title fights. January 16th will be my 10th world title fight. The pictures are on the wall. Olympic trials. Took a Jamal to the Olympics, right? Yeah. I got Eddie Chambers on the fucking line right now. He's telling you how he got a phone call to fight the fucking legend, James Toney. Anybody who don't grab our shit right now today on Black Friday, yo, Block yourself from my channel. Short commercial break. I want to hear
What's going on, guys? Your boy Coach Anthony, and of course, none other than world-class professional fighter, Fast Eddie Chambers. Black Friday, everybody's favorite time of the year. But why are we gonna wait? We ain't waiting until Black Friday. I want to give you guys the biggest opportunity that I have ever given to grab all 16 of my masterclass courses for over 90% off. I've sold these courses previously for $300 a pop, and now you can grab all 16 for less than the price of one. I want you guys to head over to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, and if you want to grab one course at a time, you can also grab those courses for only $47. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this sale is not going to last. So what I'm going to need you to do is go to the website and grab it now, because as soon as I raise the prices, not only am I going to raise the prices, I'm going to charge more than I've ever charged, because the value inside of these courses are second to none. Oh, and how can I forget? Every single person who grabs the Master Boxing Bundle is going to get enrolled to the CA Boxing University, which is a private community where you can upload your sparring, ask questions 24/7, show your heavy bag work, basically share your journey with a bunch of like-minded people. This is a no-brainer, guys. So you guys already know what to do. CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Box now.
Continue your story. How you were gonna fight the legend James Toney. Eddie
Yeah, they
Chambers.
called me. One of the reps from Goosen called my dad, I think it was, and was asking like, yeah, man, you know, we heard of your son's this and that, trying to butter him up. Like, yeah, how would you like the opportunity to fight, you know, one of the greats, James Toney? And I'm like, man, my dad came to me with that. And I'm like, damn, how much would that be for? Because at that point, I was, you know, undefeated. I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking about the opportunity. We fighting anyway. So I'm like,
what was your record when you got the phone call?
I think I was probably like 25, 26 and 0, something like that. So I mean, and I was like, yeah, maybe it was a little earlier. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think so. I think I was about that. But anyway, so you know, we got the thing, and me and my dad was talking about it a little bit, and my brother, we was like, oh man, what we gonna do? Like, what should I do? And like, well, you know, my dad's like, well, you know, I'm gonna call Rob. Like, now I'm gonna let him know, because you know we had talked to Rob. So we called him, and Rob was like, what? Like, what? He's like, man, give me that number of that dude he calls you. So he called him back and got laid into their ass about it. He told me, he's like, yo, man, I told him, man, what y'all doing calling my guys, man, trying to set up fights like that? Y'all crazy? Y'all know who y'all talking to? Y'all know y'all dealing with? Man, you ain't gonna just call my fighters and then all of a sudden you just gonna try to get him to step into a stupid ass fight like that. He might not even be ready for him yet. He went into him, and I guess, you know, I think he knew Dan from the past. So they was just like, oh no, we was just trying to put a feeler out, man, just to see who he was working with. We didn't really know he was with you, and blah blah blah. But this type of thing happens a lot. You'll get a call out of nowhere, man. People, every once in a while, I'll still get a call. Hey man, you want to fight? Like, I got a call to fight King Kong Ortiz. You know what I mean?
Hold on, bro. This is fucking bullshit.
What's it?
Samuel T just got killed, man. That's
Who?
a boxer, a professional boxer for Philadelphia. We sparred him all the time. Raymond would spar him all the time, man. That's one of Rasheem Jefferson's fighters, man.
What?
Yo, that's fucked up. Man.
Yo.
Wow. That just fucked me up, Eddie, because I know the kid personally, man.
Damn.
Bro. He got knocked out by that Asian kid, man. What was that? It's Johnny. What's the Asian kid's name that he fought that knocked him out?
Damn.
Oh my god, I hate to bring up a fighter that knocked him out, but that's what but that's a shooter, man. Fuck, man, I forgot the kid's fucking name. Damn, Sam was a good kid, man. He got us ready for our last fight. He got us ready for it, man.
What?
Philly, man. Fucking Philadelphia, man.
Bro, killing fields. You gotta be careful with that spot.
Hey,
I just got a text while I was on the phone.
Philly is getting so fucking unbelievable, man.
Yo, I just got a text from my phone from my guy Tone. The basketball guy was like, "Yo, man, come play over at the field house." they got some games going on over there, and I think it might be Gilly and all of them be
Yup,
holding
he
it.
Brandon Lee. He fought Brandon Lee, man. He got knocked
Oh,
out by
Brandon Lee. Okay, okay,
yeah, but
yeah.
he
But
let me tell you,
he was just telling me to
fighter.
come over there.
He had a kid. Damn, bro, that shit just fucking made me mad, bro. I'm literally pissed right now. Like that really fucking pisses me off, man.
Yo,
Damn, these
that's crazy.
motherfuckers, man. This shit is getting crazy out here,
It's
man.
it's bad. It's
This
bad. You
shit
don't even
is
want to go across the bridge, bro. It's
yeah,
crazy.
Philadelphia is getting fucked up, man. We're right
Yo,
here in the area, so I know all about it.
yeah,
Damn, bro. He was a promising boxer, though, man. He was tough. He had heart. He was a good fucking person, man.
yeah. That
Damn,
type of
bro.
shit right there,
That
bro.
one bothers my soul, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I'm sorry, Eddie. I know you was telling the story, bro. I
No, no, no.
fucking
It's all good, bro. I mean, I gotta get
man.
ready to get out in a
Bro.
second,
Oh
but
yeah, but go
yeah,
ahead. The story, man. That shit just bothers me, man. Like I hate to
yeah.
see young brothers out here trying to do something positive, and then they still somehow, some way,
And
fucking get
sometimes it's
consumed,
just
man.
about the location, man. You just happen to be in the wrong place. And anytime you over there, man, it's the wrong place. It's just been looking bad over there recently.
No,
But
but go ahead, bro. Go ahead, man. So finish the story. Just finish the story, man.
yeah, well, I mean, then the other time, I got a call to fight damn Luis Ortiz, King Kong Ortiz. They literally was calling me, and it was like I think I think they was giving me like 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. Same thing. Even when I fought St. Peter, I got notified in less than a month. It was February like 27th, and I had to fight him in a month. And I just got the notification that I was going to be fighting on the 27th of February, and I was fighting on March 27th. You understand what I'm saying? So they don't care, bro. Like it came through my manager too, and I still had to get ready in that time. But the good thing about it was both of us, I guess, wasn't really in the gym too much at the time. But I got right to work because that's an opportunity for me. But yeah, those types of things happen all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? They happen all the time. They ain't thinking about how well you're gonna do. They're just thinking about their guy getting a win and using your name. So yeah, that's boxing. Though.
Yeah,
Happens a
man.
lot.
Yeah, boxing's one of those sports where, again, a talented guy like Eddie can get a last minute phone call. He's not prepared mentally, physically, and
Yeah,
he might lose to a guy. And then when we go back in the record books, you're gonna say, "Well, he beat up Eddie Chambers." Is like, well, calm the fuck down. You don't
bro.
know the whole story. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how much time he had to prepare. You don't know what he was dealing with. People don't understand in this game, timing is everything. You might be able
Facts.
to beat a guy today, and in 6 months,
Yep.
that same guy will whoop your ass under the right conditions.
Yep.
Okay, I could prove it to you that time is everything. Let's say you're in a down part of your life. You're not even a fighter. I'm talking to you on the screen, and you were having a few drinks with your boys, and you went out to the bar, and then you run into a guy who typically you would be able to whoop his ass, but you would had a few drinks. Now he knocks
Yeah.
your ass out of the bar. Now you're like everybody like, man, you got knocked the fuck out, and then everybody. Meanwhile, you probably beat this dude, but he caught you at the right time. Boxing obviously is not that intense where we're dealing with alcohol, but it's the
Yeah.
same theory. You catch a fighter at the right time, you might be able to get his ass. So that's why you have to be careful because people are always watching and you don't know what people are saying. Oh, yo, I seen Eddie, man. He not looking too sharp, man. Blah, blah. They send the
Yup.
message off to somebody and then the message gets over. Give him the phone call. We're going to get his ass right now. That's how
Yep.
this works, man. This game is really like that.
Hey.
That's why
Hey.
you got to stay ready at all times.
We did that with fighters so they would call us out. Put a bullshit story out there about, oh, this happened in camp or he ain't been training or this or that. And all of a sudden we get the call. We got him. You know what I mean? Or
So that's how you do it. You got to put out a fake story sometimes about yourself.
yeah. And then when there was a time where we had a dude we was trying to get to take a fight, Don Elbaum buttered him up. Oh yeah, he's not really all that good. He's just one of these dudes that this, that, and the third. He ain't got no power. He ain't that. All right, cool. Got the dude to sign a contract. He came in there. His name was Sam Tillman. I remember after the fight, after I stopped him like the third round. He was like, yo, he said he was talking. She's like, yo, what the fuck, man? These dudes lied, man. Talk about this dude can't fight. That nigga was tight. Saying all he was just like randomly just say like crazy shit because he was so mad that they got him to sign a contract. Talk about that I wasn't nothing. But this is what people do. This is what these promoters do. They get you to sign the contract so you can get yourself in there and you just be another win for their guy. They don't care what they say about him. They're going to call him the worst fighter in the history of boxing just to get you to sign a contract. And then once you do, that's your ass.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I know you got to run, Eddie. So
yeah, man. I got to get up out of here.
Listen, it's only 7:30, man. I don't know what I'm about to do, man. I'm about to make a phone call, man. Just saying shit just fucked me up a little bit. But
yeah.
I did say I want to stay live today for as long as I can. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm not going to log off. All right, I'm just going to take a short intermission. So I would really appreciate it for y'all to just, keep the YouTube running or, just check on it. I'm going to make a quick phone call, man. And anybody out there has ever found value provided from the value that me and Eddie has put out through all of our content, man, please, man, grab this sale before it ends today. We're less than 6 hours away. You can go to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com and you can grab a course for $47, or you can grab all 16 for $297. Never ever heard of unprecedented. Is that the right word, Eddie?
Unprecedented. Yeah,
unprecedented. Okay, and you're going to get access to a lot of material plus the private community. Let me see if there's one more comment out here. Yeah, all right, man. I'm gonna take a short break. Thank you, Eddie, for your time. And listen, man, I might still be live when you're done with your game. Maybe you could pop back.
I'll hit you up. If you still,
we're doing a marathon. If people are grabbing courses, some people are grabbing them. Thank you guys for grabbing them. You guys continue to grab them. I will continue to stay live. I don't ask for super chats and none of that to all my YouTube people. I want you guys to go to the website, grab the course, something that can provide value to you for a lifetime. Okay, so make sure you take advantage. Eddie, thank you. And I'm not leaving y'all. I'm just taking a short break.
What's going on, guys? Your boy, Coach Anthony, and of course, none other than world-class professional fighter, Fast Eddie Chambers. Black Friday, everybody's favorite time of the year. But why are we going to wait? We ain't waiting until Black Friday. I want to give you guys the biggest opportunity that I have ever given to grab all 16 of my masterclass courses for over 90% off. I've sold these courses previously for $300 a pop, and now you can grab all 16 for less than the price of one. I want you guys to head over to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, and if you want to grab one course at a time, you can also grab those courses for only $47. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this sale is not going to last. So what I'm going to need you to do is go to the website and grab it now, because as soon as I raise the prices, not only am I going to raise the prices, I'm going to charge more than I've ever charged, because the value inside of these courses are second to none. Oh, and how can I forget? Every single person who grabs the Master Boxing Bundle is going to get enrolled to the CA Boxing University, which is a private community where you can upload your sparring, ask questions 24/7, show your heavy bag work, basically share your journey with a bunch of like-minded people. This is a no-brainer, guys. So you guys already know what to do. CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Boxing up. What's going on, guys? Your boy, Coach Anthony, and of course, none other than world-class professional fighter, Fast Eddie Chambers. Black Friday, everybody's favorite time of the year. But why are we going to wait? We ain't waiting until Black Friday. I want to give you guys the biggest opportunity that I have ever given to grab all 16 of my masterclass courses for over 90% off. I've sold these courses previously for $300 a pop, and now you can grab all 16 for less than the price of one. I want you guys to head over to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, and if you want to grab one course at a time, you can also grab those courses for only $47. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this sale is not going to last. So what I'm going to need you to do is go to the website and grab it now, because as soon as I raise the prices, not only am I going to raise the prices, I'm going to charge more than I've ever charged, because the value inside of these courses are second to none. Oh, and how can I forget? Every single person who grabs the Master Boxing Bundle is going to get enroll to the CA Boxing University, which is a private community where you can upload your sparring, ask questions 24/7, show your heavy bag work, basically share your journey with a bunch of like-minded people. This is a no-brainer, guys. So you guys already know what to do. CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Box now. What's going on, guys? Your boy Coach Anthony, and of course, none other than world-class professional fighter, Fast Eddie Chambers. Black Friday, everybody's favorite time of the year. But why are we gonna wait? We ain't waiting until Black Friday. I wanna give you guys the biggest opportunity that I have ever given to grab all 16 of my masterclass courses for over 90% off. I've sold these courses previously for $300 a pop, and now you can grab all 16 for less than the price of one. I want you guys to head over to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, and if you want to grab one course at a time, you can also grab those courses for only $47. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, this sale is not gonna last. So what I'm gonna need you to do is go to the website and grab it now, because as soon as I raise the prices, not only am I gonna raise the prices, I'm gonna charge more than I've ever charged, because the value inside of these courses are second to none. Oh, and how can I forget? Every single person who grabs the Master Boxing Bundle is gonna get enrolled to the CA Boxing University, which is a private community where you can upload your sparring, ask questions 24/7, show your heavy bag work, basically share your journey with a bunch of like-minded people. This is a no-brainer, guys. So you guys already know what to do. CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Box now. What's going on, guys? Your boy Coach Anthony, and of course, none other than world-class professional fighter, Fast Eddie Chambers. Black Friday, everybody's favorite time of the year. But why are we gonna wait? We ain't waiting until Black Friday. I wanna give you guys the biggest opportunity that I have ever given to grab all 16 of my masterclass courses for over 90% off. I've sold these courses previously for $300 a pop, and now you can grab all 16 for less than the price of one. I want you guys to head over to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, and if you want to grab one course at a time, you can also grab those courses for only $47. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, this sale is not gonna last. So what I'm gonna need you to do is go to the website and grab it now, because as soon as I raise the prices, not only am I gonna raise the prices, I'm gonna charge more than I've ever charged, because the value inside of these courses are second to none. Oh, and how can I forget? Every single person who grabs the Master Boxing Bundle is gonna get enrolled to the CA Boxing University, which is a private community where you can upload your sparring, ask questions 24/7, show your heavy bag work, basically share your journey with a bunch of like-minded people. This is a no-brainer, guys. So you guys already know what to do. CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Box now. What's going on, guys? Your boy Coach Anthony, and of course, none other than world-class professional fighter, Fast Eddie Chambers. Black Friday, everybody's favorite time of the year. But why are we gonna wait? We ain't waiting until Black Friday. I wanna give you guys the biggest opportunity that I have ever given to grab all 16 of my masterclass courses for over 90% off. I've sold these courses previously for $300 a pop, and now you can grab all 16 for less than the price of one. I want you guys to head over to CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, and if you want to grab one course at a time, you can also grab those courses for only $47. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, this sale is not gonna last. So what I'm gonna need you to do is go to the website and grab it now, because as soon as I raise the prices, not only am I gonna raise the prices, I'm gonna charge more than I've ever charged, because the value inside of these courses are second to none. Oh, and how can I forget? Every single person who grabs the Master Boxing Bundle is gonna get enrolled to the CA Boxing University, which is a private community where you can upload your sparring, ask questions 24/7, show your heavy bag work, basically share your journey with a bunch of like-minded people. This is a no-brainer, guys. So you guys already know what to do. CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Box now.
What's going on? All right, man. I just had to make a phone call, man. Damn. So Samuel Tay, professional boxer. You guys could look him up. Unfortunately, got killed today in Philadelphia. Philly is getting crazy. Terrible, man. Terrible, 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 terrible news. Kind of threw me off, threw my vibe off for today a little bit. I knew the kid, you know what I'm saying? He's a man. Knew the man. He had a child. Bring him to the gym. He would spar. Very humble. Straight to business. It's terrible, man. It's terrible, man. It's terrible, man. But at the end of the day, man, prayers to him and his family. And I really have no other words. Honestly, I don't even know what to say. It's pretty sad though, man. It's a pretty sad situation. We just had professional fighter Fast Eddie Chambers in here, my partner in crime in all my live streams, all my videos. I mean, Fast Eddie, professional boxer, has been doing this for a very, 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 very long time. So you guys know what time it is with Eddie, man. You guys know what time it is with Eddie. My goal was to stay live for as many hours as possible. I think I'm gonna take a short break though and come back on here. Honestly, I'm a little thrown off. Energy's a little thrown off, so I don't want to cheat you guys. So what I'll do is I'll take a couple hours. I'll take a little break, and then I'll probably be on here in a couple of hours, man. So I want to say thank you to everybody who pulled up, man. There was some real good information in the beginning of the stream, and hopefully you guys either pop back up, or for the people who are watching this late, just be on the lookout for another stream. 2 streams in one day. I haven't done that in a while, but it's no days off November, man. So you guys already know, man. Talk to you guys soon.